All right, today I've got a bottle of Pikesville Rye, and this is another old Maryland brand that came into Heaven Hill's possession in the 80s. Forever and a day, it was like the lone bottle of rye whiskey on the shelf. It was a 3-year, it was 80 proof. I think, you know, a random smattering of people in Baltimore would drink this, and it really sort of held that area, the rye whiskey category, forever. Mostly bottom shelf, under $20 bottle of rye whiskey. And then 5 or 6 years ago, they discontinued the 3-year 80 proof, and they came out with this version of Pikesville Rye, and they allocated it, made it 110 proof, and then they upped the age to 6 years plus. So they really premiumized it, but they really haven't taken the price up that much. So you still find this for 40, 45 bucks out there, and it is a hell of a value because what Heaven Hill did, and they call it Maryland style. I think there's a lot of debate as to what Maryland style rye whiskey really means. Some things I've read said, you know, it's just a higher percentage of corn. So unlike the 95.5 MGP straight rye whiskeys, which are big spice bombs, these have more corn in them, tend to taste sweeter, a lot closer to a bourbon whiskey than those really spicy rye whiskeys. So I think there's definitely a time and a place for that. But what I would call out about the Pikesville Rye is not the extensive spice that's really good, but the balance and body of this whiskey is very unique and in the best way. This is a fantastic, I think still very much under the radar whiskey out there. So when it shows up, you get a little bit of it, you see it on the shelf, 40, 45 bucks. I think it's really worth grabbing a bottle because it delivers. 6 years old, 110 proof. Most things like that are pushing into the $70, $80, $90 range right now. And this, as a unique rye with that proof and that age statement, has really stayed a great value. And of course, Heaven Hill is known for doing that, but this is certainly no exception to that rule. So let's just dig into this whiskey. On the nose, I get a lot of soft fruit, some oak, some orange peel, some clove. I get a little bit of like a dry chocolate note as well. All right, let's taste it. Sweet, soft fruit and spice. There's kind of a fruitcake flavor. There's honey. There's a sweet vanilla flavor. It's a dessert. It's oddly enough, it tastes like a dessert whiskey to me. So I know it's supposed to have the spice, but the spice is there. But in a way, the spice really backgrounds or backbones all these softer, sweeter, fruitier flavors that come through. 110 proof is nice. I mean, you can sip it neat at 110 proof. Right there between the first second after the sip, on its way to kind of a mid palate into the finish. That first initial impression has such a nice soft fruit and spice combination. I don't think you would get that in anything else. I haven't tasted it. I mean, what's nice is that I feel like you taste the Heaven Hill DNA in pretty much all their bourbon whiskeys. It's not that hard to pick out what they are. This is different. This is something different from Heaven Hill, and it's delicious, and it is definitely worth not skipping if you see a bottle. So, cool history, Maryland Rye history. They redid the packaging, they redid the liquid, but it works, and it's premium, and it's a little harder to get, but definitely worth picking up when you see a bottle. All right, there you go, Pikesville Rye. Cheers.